You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from the control room of an abandoned Cylon base star. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast.
Skibbity beep bop doo bop 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 bow. Oh yeah. Skibbity beep.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. This is episode 198 of the Wicked Theory Podcast. My name is Bill. That's Jay.
Skibbity beep bop boo bop bow.
Doing his best skibbity beep bopping. And his brother Bob hammering on the
What's up, everybody?
on the strings live for you and anyone who will listen with you.
Boop.
Really booping it up today, Jay. What is in that pipe that you're, is that a fresh scoopity boop? Like,
It's crystallized Jack Daniels.
is that a strain of weed? I mean, they call it everything nowadays. Yo, check out this orange Scooby Boop I got. It's like hybrid. Weed names. Anyway, yeah, episode 198. That's where it's starting, kids. We do it live every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do it on Mixlr. That's a place to go to listen. MIXLR.
Sweet mother.
Download the free app or search for us there, mixlr.com/wicked-theory. Come hang out, get in the chat room, play the chat room game. And then, we're going to talk some pop culture stuff and other nonsense. If you ever want to send us an email, now would be a good time if you're listening live, or even if you're not listening live. Now is probably the best time. Send it to podcast@wicked-theory.com. And a voicemail if you want to say something.
We do that?
we would. Speakpipe.com/wicked-theory. And then and that's the official business up front, out of the way. Check out our friends on the DCTV podcast, Ed and Sarah, recapping all the shows for you, so you don't have to watch them if you don't want to.
Right, you mean the DC TV report.
That is correct. Did I missay it?
You said the DC podcast.
Did I say it? Yeah. I probably did. I was rushing it. Yeah. But yeah, DC TV report. Do that.
That's still going on, right?
Still going.
I think that'll go on as long as Ed has free time and there's DC TV to be had.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Forever. That brings us over to, hey, how's it going? How's everybody been?
Good. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm in good shape. I took a nap. So I'm drinking a cold coffee that I bought from before the nap, but
Is that what you call doing crystal meth now? Taking a nap?
Yeah.
That's the code word.
Well, you know how some drugs hit different people different ways.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean. So when I smoke meth, I get nappy. I get tired. I get drowsy.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody lower than me. I used to do meth with my daughter.
That wouldn't
Who
be
was that
because-
guy?
That wouldn't be because your heart is racing so fast it just can't get blood to your system. You can't get oxygen to your system.
Does that guy have a name? Is that Cecil?
I used to run the video production department of an advertising agency.
Oh, my good God.
And one of our clients was a anti-drug company.
Oh.
And they used to do these little bits, and there was this guy, and it was all real people.
Right, but that was like his line in this ad, in this promo thing?
And the thing is, I heard it so many times.
Oh, 'cause
I
you-
started doing imitations. It's not funny.
Right.
You know, ain't nobody lower than me. I used to do meth with my daughter.
Sadly, there probably are people lower than him, because at least it was just meth. But anyway.
But they were very haunting videos, I recall.
Oh, I'm sure. All those interview things where it's like, let me tell you exactly how I ruined it all. And it's like drugs and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, it's never good.
I think it was called the ONDCP, and they used to do these. Like, there was one video of a girl, like, in a dark room, and their REM's Everybody Hurts is playing.
Everybody hurts.
So it's like the most depressing shit you'd ever seen in your life.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Well, you know what hurts? When I get hunted down in the woods by a serial killer, and he fucking That was a terrible segue. Jay,
Yeah.
has your Kickstarter kicked yet?
It's kicked, yeah. So,
All right, that's a less clunky way.
It started or it's kicked?
It's kicked. It's
And
launched.
And
Launched.
nice, both then.
So Dave Brown,
Mm-hmm.
my co-writer, the director of the potentially short film, his name was Jason. The Kickstarter for it launched 5 days ago.
Nice. Congratulations.
So if anybody wants to go check out Kickstarter, just type in his name was Jason. You'll find it in there.
Right.
Or you can go to my Twitter. I have it pinned. It's a pinned
Okay,
tweet.
cool. Nice.
I know Steph Munez.
She did a retweet on it.
She also contributed, so thank you for that.
Oh,
Steph, thank you,
Yeah.
Steph.
nice.
And
We'll give her a bell for that.
I don't. I'm not exactly sure of the people. It's not my Kickstarter. I'm
Right.
just-
You don't see behind the scenes for everything.
Yeah, but I do know she tweeted because she was thanked in the His Name Was Jason Facebook fan page.
Oh, nice.
Which you can
nice.
guys can also check out. If you go to Facebook, His Name Is Jason, a Friday the 13th fan film.
you
You'll
go.
see it there. I'm in there. He's posting like some pictures of where we're going to shoot. He's got some props
Nice.
being sent to him. So I'm excited, man. The goal is 20 grand.
Nice.
And I
You got to think bigger, man. You got to go for 50 million,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and then if you hit $1 million, and you really only wanted 20 grand, you're way above. You know what I mean?
Oh, when they see that,
Bob's not in charge of my Kickstarter. I'll
Right.
just say that.
because when somebody sees 50 mil, you're not going to get $1.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You make it seem like it's reasonably, like, or that.
Yeah, you could do that. You could,
Yeah.
do that. Or you could just go for Avi Arad.
Well, but he's
Get
not
him
in the
out of-
family. He's not in the family, though.
We estimated, Dave estimated that he can get it done for like 20 thou.
Nice.
I think we just crossed 2,700
Nice.
over the past a few days. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well,
Cool.
Clerks was made for 25 grand, right?
Yeah.
So it's doable.
It's absolutely doable.
Yeah.
And you get more with less these days.
Absolutely.
So good luck with that, buddy.
Yeah, well,
and everybody,
yeah.
go check it out.
Kickstarter.com.
I wish I had the link on hand to drop into the chat room.
Well, I was looking at it, and I have it here.
Why don't you drop it in the chat room when you get a chance? Actually, you can manage that while I'm actually setting up some other stuff. You know
you
what? Wow, that was easy, Jay. That was pretty quick. Well, speaking of the chat room, Jay, who's in there? Who do you see?
We got a lot of people.
We got some people.
Unlike what you predicted.
Well, these are a particular type of people, though.
All right, so we got Benny, Livewire,
Nice.
James B. Ham,
Nice.
Agent Palmer,
Nice.
John Zombie, John Thompson,
Nice.
and last but certainly not least, Mr. Wesley Ryan Gaskins.
The most nicest.
You know, when you were saying that and when you were pausing, I had time to think.
Yep.
Did you ever notice that there's lots of serial killers use 3 names?
This seems to be a thing, yeah, man.
Like Jason John Chickalise.
Yeah.
I
Wesley
think
Ryan Gaskins.
I think it's like a subconscious thing society does. Like, let's not mix this up with any other person. This is John Lee. You know what I mean?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Right,
That's not a serial killer, but
We're trying to make sure you don't mix it up with the other Lee Oswald that you might know from your town.
Charles Lee Ray.
there you go. That was the one I was trying to think.
It's a child's play.
Yeah, nice. Good times.
John Wilkes Booth.
There you go.
But he was an actor.
Right. I mean,
He was just acting when he pulled the trigger.
lest he be remembered for anything else. The man was a thespian. Let's not forget. Can the art not transcend the reputation? Is that what we?
He was also a conspiracy theorist and part of a pro Confederates.
Everyone
party
wants
movement.
to. Everyone wants to give Kevin Spacey a hard time. But what about John Wilkes Booth? I mean, that guy got a raw deal. Anyway,
A little bit.
let's give those kids a chat room game this week.
All right.
It's pretty broad. We're gonna make it worse. Take anything you want, kids, and just make it worse. Figure out a little wordplay with the name of it, and just make it shitty. So, like a Toyota Crapola, International Chainsaw Massacre. Why limited to just Texas? Or Lord of the Stings. So they're not old gems, but making it worse. You know what I mean? Scar Wars. The Last Cut. No. No? All right. Well, see what you can do with that, kids. It was the best I had this week, and I don't have a writer's room, so that's how that goes.
Dude, I was in the next room, dude.
Like I said, I choose not. Maybe I didn't say it right. I choose not to have a writer's room. I'm only fucking around.
There you go.
There you go. So with that, that's going to bring us around to the point of when we move on to the next segment. Those familiar with the show know exactly what it is, but this sound should fill you in. Oh, Bob threw you for a loop there, didn't he? It was a pop quiz. You were like, no, what is this? News time. Everybody loves a little bit of news. Anyway, so a couple of trailers dropped this week. That's all I really got in my news because we've got coverage of some other stuff I got thoughts on underneath you guys' umbrellas. Dark Phoenix, finally. One of Marvel's 2 X-Men movies that are just sitting in a tank somewhere, waiting to be released.
I think they were trying to wait and see if they could figure out a way to bury this so that people forgot.
Yeah, well...
But that wasn't working out.
No, they're not going to forget. And I don't know, man. I feel like it's a little rough on the edges, it looks like. And, they were probably, obviously we're probably doing some last-minute fixes and stuff. But it looks like they're trying to pull out all the guns. There's money in it, and everybody's there, and they're going for the craziest storyline of all. So, I give them props,
I actually think it looks cool.
Yeah. All right.
Hasn't been a lot of positive vibe or buzz around this for a long time.
That's surprising.
I hope it does well.
No, me too. So
I want it to do well. I like when it's better when there's good comic book.
I would like it to be able to at least, that's going to be the end of this whole era to wrap on a good note, And then the other kind of thing that kind of popped up was that, in related news, was there's a scuttlebutt that New Mutants might end up going straight to VOD or platform, for Disney Plus. So we'll see what happens.
Really? Okay.
It might. They're probably thinking it through,
Right.
Other trailer this week, Hellboy. Hellboy dropped a second trailer, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I managed to walk in as you guys were watching that, and it looks good.
Rated R, red band trailer. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Cash already, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's Hellboy.
It's Hellboy, and it's like rated R, and it's got some F-bombs in the trailer. But other than that, they're leaning into it.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, I mean, he looks a little different. So in some shots, I'm like, oh, and then other shots, I'm like, oh, that's like, it's a weird thing. I find like it's like something about the lighting at certain angles or something. I'm like, he looks very different, and then other shots, I'm like, oh, he looks exactly like him. You know what I mean? Like no difference. So, but I'm getting more and more excited for it. So that's what I was thinking.
Well, who's directing this one?
Some guy. I don't even know. And then I thought Jay would be interested in the fact that Critters is getting a reboot.
Yep.
It did. Well, I mean, it did. Yes.
It didn't launch yet.
Yeah. So there's a trailer out for it, and
are they going to try and redo this as more like Gremlins?
No, it's more Gremlins than it ever was, and it was kind of Gremlin-y to begin with.
I think we're looking at a hard like TVMA.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like
there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of guts,
and
it's campy and it's corny. They kept all of that, so it's.
Well, that's good. That's what you want to keep.
But I'm saying like R-rated because the other movies weren't.
Okay.
The other movies were like PG-13.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the idea of it is that they're eating you.
Right. But I kind of forgot that there was even an aspect of them trying to make it like an approachable comedy horror thing.
Right.
Like, I thought that was like kind of like a thing where it was like the first one's like, oh, like we kind of meant it like kind of serious, and then we realized what we had, and we got a little silly with it in the sequels.
No, because the first one
was
meant to be like a goofy, like even goofier than Gremlins.
Gotcha.
It turned out to be a decent film. I know what Sissel and Ebert got behind it and told people to go see it.
Well, you know what that means.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of like feedback it got.
Yeah.
And they made 3 additional movies.
Right.
But the fact that they, like whatever they're saying is in subtitles and they're cursing.
That was the thing. Like, during the trailer, the subtitles pop up for them. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. I forgot all about
They
translating
shoot
them.
little fucking spikes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I'm sure this will be like a hoot and a holler.
Oh, the trailer was silly as fuck. It was kind of funny, just because
It almost sounds like it's going to be right in that Goosebumps kind of like.
Yeah,
for adults.
But
definitely.
for adults, yeah. Is that for Shudder?
That was for Shudder. So I guess that's gonna. Yeah, I'm surprised. You know what? Kind of surprised. Feels like a thing that's just so right up your alley. The Shudder app.
I'll wait till Creepshow launches.
Shudder is the horror app content service. It's SHUDDER. Just in case I sound like I'm talking about something on the outside of your house. I'm not.
All right, are you done?
How cold is it now? Is it colder than it was?
It's not bad, huh?
Did I have to hear that through my headphones?
I feel like there might have been a little bit of soap in that cup. Now that I'm looking at how long
Tastes
that.
good.
All right, because that froth is lasting.
Yeah, there's a little ivory soap in there.
It's good for you. Clean you right out.
I like a little
Give you the
Ajax.
shits later too.
About whiskey.
That's what they call you, right? Jason,
Ajax?
Ajax.
Whiskey Ajax.
All right. So Bob's got a thing.
Yeah, so everybody, this little show Picard that CBS All Access is working on, right?
Yep. This is like the Picard report.
Yeah, kind of something like that, right? Well,
New
evidently, they just dropped their character breakdowns.
Right.
All right, so we get to see who else is going to be involved with Picard,
Right.
right? And they also, there's a mention here, I don't know if it seems like it's something that was already dropped, but for anyone who didn't know, Picard's not in Starfleet at this point
Right.
during the show.
He's too old.
Yeah, well, he's only lived to be, 1,012 now?
Yeah,
in
but
Star Trek?
fair enough. But, he's too old for that.
Right.
He's brittle.
So we have, during its course of the 10 episodes, we're going to get a bunch of, I'm looking for the list. Here we go. 7 characters.
Okay.
There's going to be 7 characters. Connie Lawrence Starton, Dr. Smith, K-Bar, Indira, and Alana.
Okay.
Connie's an African-American woman in her 30s who's a widow, essentially. She also has a price on her head from her own planet.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a mercenary pilot. Lawrence is in his 30s and described as someone with a dodgy moral compass. So these two are probably 2 people who have been out in space trying to survive as a shady grifter couple or whatever.
Right.
So and he's also a thief and he's the pilot. Starton is terrified of space and specializes in positronic brains. So he's a scientist of some sort.
Sure.
All right.
Data had a
He's
positronic
also-
brain.
Right. So there's something there with that. So we may get to see Data, et cetera, et cetera. So he's also in his 30s. The other 2 are said to be of any ethnicity and ages. Doesn't mention ages or anything. And then K-Bar is a 17-year-old Romulan who idolizes Jean-Luc Picard.
Right. Martial artist.
Right, yeah, into the martial arts. So the other 2 characters are Indira and Alana. Alana's an abusive has abusive personality. She's a former intelligence officer. Indira is a socially inept woman in her early 20s. So basically, she's the Tilly from Discovery.
Right.
She's going to be kind of that character. That's
Sure.
what's going on in my
A little bit of that. And
so gender and ethnicity isn't necessarily mentioned for K-Bar. So it looks like we're going to have an interesting ensemble of characters around him. So something's going to go on, and he's going to have to get off his ass and get out of retirement.
yeah, and it's going to be surrounded by some young people who can actually do some of the running and
Yes.
the fighting.
Yeah, he's basically going to be the guy in the chair again.
Yeah, well, he's old. He deserves a
Right.
chair.
Yeah, at this point, that's what he gets.
It'd be great if they bring a chair with him. If they bring a chair with them everywhere they go. You know, like, yeah, have a seat, sir.
Yeah, a little floating chair, like something like out of the X-Men, maybe.
Yeah. So, so they've got some characters kind of lined up, and whether or not we'll be seeing anybody else from the original series is up in the air, I think. I know Frakes has said that he's going to direct a couple episodes. They've already signed him on for that.
Yeah, he's on for like 3 episodes. They're looking at this for early 2020.
Right.
Not early 2020. End of 2020.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. No, actually, I'm sorry. I mixed up the date. It's end of.
Eventually. We could just say eventually.
2019.
Right.
So my guess was September or October, because they're talking about putting the cast together and getting started on the production for April, May.
Sure.
So.
All right. Well, that's good news. I'm sure we'll get more as we
we'll
go.
Probably get that sometime between September and November.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I like it. I'm excited for it. Can't
What are the
wait.
chances of him reprising his role as the neo-Nazi in Green Room?
Probably slim. I think he died in that. He might have died in that movie. I'm not sure. We'll get the
Yes, he did.
we'll get the prequel stuff for that. Jay, you've got an update on Many Saints of Newark.
Oh yeah. Good
one. Who's been added to it?
Mr. Chantix himself.
I used to smoke a lot.
My name is Ray.
My name is Ray. I used to smoke. I used to do a lot of cocaine.
I was a wuss. I couldn't quit on my own. I had to take drugs.
So the Sopranos prequel, The Many Saints of Newark,
Yeah, I said that.
has gained actor Ray Liotta.
Ray.
So he's negotiating now, but he had this to say. I am thrilled to be working with David Chase and Alan Taylor on The Many Saints of Newark. David's talent is unmatched, and the directing of Alan Taylor makes this even more exciting. I respect them both immensely.
Yeah.
And look forward to making this special project with New Line.
Wow.
Translation, I'm glad I'm not making Chances commercials anymore.
Yeah.
I think it helped him.
They probably did. They're probably like, oh, man, that Ray. Let's call him.
I know he had a show with J-Lo.
Yeah, doing a cop show.
But to me, Ray Liotta bleeds cinematic screen appearances, man. I mean, that's because I kind of like...
Well, certainly not that show. That show felt like a little bit of a misuse for him.
Because I feel like I started getting into movies. Like, I mean, I've always been into movies, but like mid-'80s, when he started coming onto the scene, I kind of liked him.
Sure.
You know, always did. So, and he's a great fit. He can be a very menacing and intimidating character.
That son of a
sure
bitch.
He's going to be some kind of Don.
Yeah, he'll be some kind of fucking jerk off. For sure. Anyway.
I wish I was on this piece, I'll tell you. I really, really want to be on it.
So you might as well, you should at the very least stalk this, a couple of the productions, get some pictures or something, fucking see if, or just see what's going on. I mean, if it's going to be close enough to you, if they're going to shoot in any parts of your town.
Well, I do know that they're already looking to shoot between April and June.
Sure.
If we get the funding for this, his name was Jason thing.
Oh, you won't be around.
I'll be that, yeah. And the thing is, Italians in the '60s, especially in the mob, didn't have this beard.
Well,
dude, all the sets from the old show are within a couple of miles of each other in Jersey.
They're right down the block from my house.
Yeah, I figured because I know, like, I worked in Newark.
Yeah.
And I know that some of the sets were right there on 1 and 9, about a mile away from where I used to work, and going a mile the other direction is where the strip club with the diner was.
That's in Paramus.
Or was it the butcher shop? They turned into a diner or something.
I think that's the one in Kearney. Yeah.
Right there in Kearney.
Well, I saw it said Newark was the name of the production.
Oh,
it just
okay.
says Newark. I know
Newark.
exactly what that is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I would love to. I already spoke to the agent about it.
Well, got to get in there.
We'll see. So more casting news.
Sure.
So a fella by the name of Rami Malek.
Yeah.
Just won an Oscar. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
He was well-deserved Oscar.
Yes, it was.
Well, he's the lead.
He's going to be the bad guy?
The bad guy, the lead bad guy in the James Bond film.
He's in talks.
He's in talks, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Interesting. I'd like to see what they do with him in that. Like, you know what I mean? Besides making him like a hacker or something. I feel like I've seen him do that. But I don't know. He's young. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a little bit of a shift, probably for a Bond villain. He's younger than a typical Bond villain, I would say.
Right.
If I remember correctly. But he's got the chops. He's good in my book.
It's
I'd like to see him go crazy.
Just right after an Oscar, all the the feedback.
Oh well, all the offers that start coming in and stuff like
yeah.
that. And he's got the greatest bug eyes in TV. So
he does.
and
What's really scary is he got a twin brother. You see a picture of him and his brother?
no, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's got an identical twin brother.
Oh boy.
And he's just a few pounds heavier than him, so that brings out a difference.
Sure.
But they have the same bug eyes.
Oh man.
like someone smacked you in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Stuck.
All right. So what's your next?
Moving along,
Yeah. What do you
Guillermo del Toro and J.J. Abrams
Toro.
are going to collaborate on a property called Zambato.
Yes.
Guillermo is going to write and direct, and J.J. Abrams and his Bad Robot Productions are going to produce. The only thing we know about it, it's about a 15-year-old girl ninja.
Here and then he tweeted, "She's not a ninja, so she's an assassin. She's a badass assassin of some type." But
So ninja.
I saw an article where it had that update on it, where it was like, "Oh, update." Like Guillermo tweeted out, "She's not a ninja."
I'm going to ignore that.
saying.
I'm going to ignor that,
Right.
and I'm going to say that Guillermo del Toro and J.J. Abrams are making a ninja movie.
They're reinventing the ninja as we know it.
That sounds fun.
Right.
Nothing else is said about
Yeah,
it
it's-
except for the phrase "we are still developing steadily."
But that's a really cool team to see working together. So
I'm looking forward to that with great interest.
Mm-hmm.
And the last piece of news and casting rumors
sure.
is that Finn Wolfhard
Right.
and Carrie Coon, two actors who are getting a lot of notoriety. Carrie Coon was in Gone Girl. She was also in last season of The Sinner, which I was on too.
Right.
They are in talks to be cast in Ghostbusters 3.
Okay.
No telling who they're going to be. But this is in addition to
Pardon me?
possibly Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson reprising their
Well, I saw
roles.
something that was basically what was happening, that they were actually going to be in the movie. It was
Yeah.
basically going to be the handing of the torch movie that they should have
They
done
should have made, yeah,
the last one.
exactly.
All right. Cool.
Which I've also stated many, many times over, but nobody likes to listen to me.
Well, I feel like when you got to say that you've stated something many, many times, you don't even have to state that. You have stated it many, many
I
times.
think you need
I think
to
that
lose.
that may actually be a little obtuse.
I think you need to lose $100 million on
Yeah.
a bad idea to actually understand.
Well, that sometimes is a lesson. There are many lessons to be learned in Hollywood, for sure. But all
Interesting
right.
news this week, at least
Yeah,
for me.
sure. No, it was good stuff.
And yeah,
This coffee is doing me right. I'm finally starting to shake off some of that nap. Oh, man, that nap was good. Nice 2-hour plus. Thank God for snooze buttons, huh? All right, so I don't know. I guess we do the next segment, which is known as the Meanwhile. And,
oh, by the way, I'm in Dune.
you're in Dune?
I'm in Dune.
You
Yeah,
got
I
it?
was cast, yeah.
You were cast?
Because everybody else was. I might as well.
Might as well.
I just walked on set.
I'm a giant sandworm. How are you?
Meanwhile,
On the
Meanwhile.
miniature set.
Yeah. You're in a big tube-like suit, and you got to, like, fucking jump up out of the sand, and
You know what?
it's a whole ballet kind of choreography thing going
If
on.
it called for it, I'd do it.
As long as it's got your beard on it.
You said miniature. I started thinking just a glove for his arm, and it's a real miniature.
Right, he's doing like a real kind of like, we got the camera.
Henry Harryhausen.
Very Harryhausen. Can't even say it. But it was very Harry.
As
Harryhausen.
long as it has my beard on the word.
Yeah, why not, So, I am deep, as you might have kind of hint from the opening line. I am deep in a Battlestar Galactica rewatch.
I thought you were gonna wait for me
For,
because I want to watch those. You know?
well,
Yeah, he
the
wants
remake.
somebody to watch. He was trying to get me to watch it with him.
Well, not with me, but I was suggesting it to you. You came
Yeah.
by looking for stuff, and I was like, well, right now I'm having a lot of fun with this. But
You own all the seasons, right?
yeah, I have all the seasons, and then what happened to me is, Trisha Helfer, who's the blonde, 6, She's co-hosting a podcast with the other guy on Fat Man on Batman, Mark Bernardin, and they're kind of going through the show. So I got like halfway through their first episode, and I was like, I just got to start watching it. I'm just going to start watching it. So I haven't really gone back to the podcast yet, because it's like, you know, it's a little meandering. I don't know if they get into their groove eventually. I'll have to give it another shot. But, you know, just kind of really digging it. If you never gave it a shot, I'm talking about the 2003 era reboot series. I was never really a big fan of the original. I mean, it's got a lot of love from a lot of people. It always kind of smacked kind of silly to me. So I never really gave it a fair shake. I'll be honest. I never really gave it a fair shake, but I fell in love with this one. You know, so this is the one that I always recommend to people.
I was a big fan of that first one.
Oh, I'm sure.
Huge, yeah.
I'm sure.
Wow.
Yeah, and so for this one, you know, it's a very different animal, but like, you know, from what I understand, all of the themes and a lot of the stuff is there, and it's kind of intensified and amplified. I mean, one of the biggest changes is that the Cylons are changed, that they've adapted, and they look like us now. So the silver drone robots are there, different design, sure, but in this reimagining, you know, they're more like drones. And so aboard in the fleet or the caravan of ships, if you remember that's the setup, it's the end of human civilization. Cylons have wiped us all out pretty much to a small ragtag group of humans left, like 50,000 people, and drifting through space trying to find Earth, trying to find home.
Right.
But in this mix now, the added element is that some of them are human-looking Cylons who we don't know who they are. There are 12 models, and there are many copies. So, you know, that's the dynamic, and it's an interesting thing to watch it all kind of unfold in a way where you as a viewer don't get a lot. You don't often get very ahead of the situations. Like, they don't start telling you too much of like, well, this person's like this ticking time bomb like stuff where it's like, oh, you know who this Cylon is, so you're just waiting for them to kind of be revealed to the characters, and like that's not where the tension comes from. The tensions come from like the actual reveal, like, you know what I mean? Or it's like, oh, this person the whole fucking time,
Right.
but a lot of them, they're like sleepers. They don't know. So what's interesting is that later on in the series, when like it starts to become learned of just how many, you know, people like you kind of like were watching, and we're already writing off as there's no possible way that this guy is one. Like, you've seen enough of his background, you know his story, like, you know what I mean? But no. So it likes to pull a lot of twists and a lot of turns. And if you like Star Trek, but you want, you know, something that's a little bit more military feeling, you know what I mean? This has got that. And dogfights, nice dogfights in space.
Right.
So, but that's my recommendation basically this week.
Right.
That's what I've been putting all my free time in.
Right.
I'd recommend things, but I've been catching up on things you've already seen. So it's basically Umbrella Academy, which go watch, people.
Fine. Sure.
Go watch. It's actually a lot better than you even let on.
Yeah.
There's layering that's going on between the visuals and the characters on screen that are subtle.
Yeah.
And there's multiple layers of it too. So you're catching stuff that's serious in the moment, but it's making you laugh because you're seeing everything else that's behind it, so to speak.
Sure.
You know, not that there's lots of funny moments. There's not, but it's There's an absurdity, a layer of absurdity.
Yeah.
That's worked in there. That is just you just follow it, and everyone else is just following it. In this story, and it's just like
it's just naturalistic.
Okay,
it's got a naturalistic feel where it's like, you know.
So that's what it is. It feels very naturally told, so that when those moments come when you realize the absurdity and it's being thrown back at you in a certain way,
right,
and it's just like, oh yeah, and then you laugh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that is kind of ridiculous. So, or right, like, yeah, but it's a good show. What else? Do you have anything else that you've been watching?
Well,
Caught up on?
Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Right.
I just finished watching that right before the show. So, and that's really good too for a lot of reasons. Where it's doing a lot. and it's doing it all well. You know, and it's trying to be a little artsy at the same time.
Sure.
And it kind of, I think for the most part, it strikes that well. It does that well.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, it could be a little
jarring.
The end battle.
Yeah, there's a lot going on the screen.
There's a lot of very colorful stuff going on in the end battle that if you're not really just like, I'm just gonna go with it, you're gonna you can get lost in it. Like, wait, why is that even there? Kind of thing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, there's a lot of design kind of going on. Like
right.
you know, a lot of it, but fun. But fun.
Absolutely, very fun. Extremely well written.
Mm-hmm.
Even Peter Porker.
Right. Sure.
You know, it's just awesome. At one point, he's just like, "Here, take my hammer. It'll fit in your pocket."
Right.
Just like
it doesn't look like it should, but it will.
Of course it will, because it fits in his pocket.
Yeah,
it's a cartoon hammer.
Cartoon physics. You know what I mean?
He's the one character that's like broken the fourth wall, and they admit he's a cartoon character.
Right.
You know.
Cool.
Yeah, really, really well done.
And congratulations to their Oscar win.
Yeah, well deserved. It's a very smart, well done movie.
All right, what about you, Jay? What have you seen this week?
You want to take True Detective on with me?
I'll fucking knock it down. You want to take it on with me? So I'll tackle this.
I was like, all right, this is going to sound like what happens when you guys are done with the show and the headphones are off. So
yeah, maybe we won't get too deep. We'll try to keep the audience awake. We won't get too deep, but
you'll know. The sign will be my headphones will be hanging up, and I'll be walking.
Right. So
I really enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
This was another thing that I went and watched, and then just wanted to get like an audience reaction, and surprisingly, there was a mixed reaction.
Right.
But I actually think, and I don't want to get spoiler heavy at all.
Sure.
But I actually really, from a story point of view, it's not what you expect.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As far as last episode ending,
as far as what happened.
Right. When you get all the elements, all the truth comes out.
Where I think the real mystery is actually the story moving forth.
Right.
And how it's affecting everyone over what this little thing that happened.
Right.
Well, not this little. But
no, but you're absolutely right. That's definitely what they're putting out here. It's
your mind is thinking other things.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, bigger things are happening year by year.
Yeah, the whole idea of them stretching it out, because that's the only thing I'll say is kind of like and it's a small thing, but like, you know, because they stretch it out, and because a lot of it is, it's like a mystery show where, like, you know, you're not given all the details, you're waiting for things to slowly unfold, that it could start to build up in your head where it's like, oh, this is kind of going to be leading to something a little bigger, or not like, I'm not looking for an action movie in the last 5 minutes, but, you know, something a little bigger in the end. But the thing is that I realized in the back of my head going forward is like, well, by the time, if we're following them when they're really old, and that's kind of when they're going to end up solving this, then it's probably going to be a little understated. Because they're too old to fucking wrestle anybody to the ground. Like, you know, they're a couple of old dudes.
But so this writer did an amazing job giving you these clues in time table,
sure, yeah,
which was brilliant in a way.
Yeah,
like it is a brilliant piece of writing.
Yeah,
along with two really damn good performances, great performances all around, but especially from Mahershala Ali and Stephen Dorff.
Yeah, the main two.
They worked great together. I think that even though there was 3 different takes on their characters at different ages, and it was believable, and it was just it was really well done. And I feel people should maybe give it another shot.
Yeah,
instead, because it really didn't deserve any of the mixed reviews. I think this is a great piece of.
Yeah, I think the mixed reviews, if they're coming out of the end of it, like if there's like the initial review stuff, like almost you can't count it. Like if it's like early on and you're giving a review on this particular thing, especially, it doesn't hold up because this is really all about how it wraps up.
Yeah.
And that paints a light on the whole thing overall.
Right.
And that sometimes isn't an issue or a thing even. But this particular case with this material, the way it wraps up, it kind of like it bow ties the whole thing in a way where it's like it's only fair to kind of review it in total. You know what I mean? And I think the thing is that like it's a fitting ending for the story that they were setting you up for.
Right.
And that ending in particular, compared to other things, is understated. It's subtle. It's not, this giant takedown necessarily of the big bad guy. We'll just leave it at that.
Right.
But
the one thing,
but amazing all around.
But the one thing I thought was really cool, and this I will give out. It's not really anything that big, but it was actually cool to see them talk about a little bit of the events that happened in the first season.
Yeah.
That it takes place in the same universe.
Yeah, I didn't mind that they were anchoring it in that way.
But relevant to the point of kids being
but I feel like it was
yeah.
mentioned because it was similar though. Like if there was any hard connection, like that's lost on me. Like we'd have to talk about that afterwards or see a breakdown on it. Like
not really, but just the fact that they actually acknowledged
right,
these
that's
are
what I'm
happening
saying.
in the same universe.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's fine to do that. The way that they did it implied that there was might be a bigger connection somehow behind the scenes, or that you would find out. I'm not saying you're going to meet those guys, but it implied a little bit more than it ended up being.
Yeah, I thought.
So,
I thought that we were at one point they were going to go talk to them or something,
or that this guy was going to be connected to one of their guys or something. And it it's kind of just a mention of them.
Yeah,
and
that's Tarantino's version.
So I felt like that was a little bit mixed because I'm like, well, what's the
maybe
and it's
missed
only at the end.
opportunity?
Yeah, and at the end I'm like, well, what was the point of that? Was it just to kind of anchor us there, or just to kind of red herring it a little bit and kind of keep you guessing? Because the original season did a lot of that. Red herring, keeping you guessing, misleading you.
Yeah.
This kind of didn't. This kind of just unfolded in front of you more, which I liked.
Where it was all about each episode.
Yeah.
And the reveals of each episode.
Yeah, it really felt like chapters in that way. So tell me about the Ted Bundy
Stash.
It's the Stash for a True Detective.
Yeah. There's a really incredible Netflix doc, and it's only 4 episodes long. But it's really compelling filmmaking.
Sure.
It's the Conversations with a Serial Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes.
Oh.
What a crazy motherfucker.
Well, I would think so.
And the thing is this, I knew, everybody knows of Ted Bundy, but to really get a cold case file on this guy.
Right.
To really talk about, this guy could have been your fucking governor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He was intelligent. He was, he could talk a good game. He was charming. And
right.
He was a nice looking guy. And all of a sudden, animalistic behavior behind closed doors.
You just can't, you just don't know where it's ever going to come from. You just never know where it's going to come from.
But it's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of the things that first pops up because it's actually doing very well.
Yeah, it's a big push for them.
And it's very well done. And you get to hear from the man himself. And
so what's the setup on that? Like
the setup is that there's a guy that interviewed him back in 1979.
Okay.
When he actually got convicted and sentenced.
Okay.
And they were trying to get him to admit to these things because he never admitted it.
Okay.
But how he was talking about everything but
right,
and how they can get him to talk in a way to actually say, well, all right, well, what would you have done? What would this person have done? Like you being a psychiatrist.
Yeah. You being a smart person who gets in
and
that.
he opens up, and
like,
it gets.
Well, it's like OJ's book. If I did it.
One girl actually did survive him.
Right.
Hearing her talk about that was just kind of chilling.
Okay.
And some brutal shit. Yeah. So definitely check that out.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know how anyone can watch an A&E doc anymore when these Netflix docs are just.
Some of these specials like so well done where it's like, Dateline's just not the same anymore.
No.
But on a lighter note.
Yeah, on a lighter note and on a
little bit lighter. Still some violence of the sort.
So I saw Alita, Battle Angel.
Alita, Battle Angel.
It's been out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And, of course, there was 15 years of development hell.
Sure. It's one of Cameron's babies that he actually handed off.
And you know what? I think the thing is this. Again, this was something I looked at because I've been kind of off the grid the last few weeks, and I don't know how it's been doing, and I hear it's been doing incredible overseas, but not doing well here.
Right.
Made its money back, but overseas. You know what I mean? And the thing is this, Warcraft had the same reaction, something that was successful overseas, but they didn't catch on here. Battle Angel Alita, as I like to call it, because that was the name of the manga.
Right.
A fine purist.
Right.
Because you've read so much
But
of
I
it.
keep saying it all the time. It rolls off the tongue that way.
So, question, so we can get to the end of the show.
He was talking. Relax.
I'm sorry.
Relax,
I'm
ice cream.
I was just trying to be sarcastic and make a joke.
All right.
All right. It was the manga. I remember reading it because this has been Cameron's baby for a long ass time.
Right.
And he finally gave directing duties to Robert Rodriguez.
Right. Yeah.
So these movies they're getting adapted, like Ghost in the Shell and Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux.
And stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Well, those films suffer from a lot of
Too much thinking about it.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that.
Whereas James Cameron puts his mind to it,
Yeah.
you get something done right.
Sure.
And that's exactly what this is. It's really damn good.
Right.
The effects. I'm not going to even get into the story right now. I'm just talking about how this movie looks.
Okay.
And it's dynamite, man. I mean,
Right.
there's things I'm looking at. I'm like, this is just too flawless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the way it looks. I also was taken with Alita. I cared about her. You know what I mean? To actually, from her birth
Right.
to what it becomes,
Yeah.
there's just so many great things to really like about it. Christoph Waltz is amazing. I liked the whole idea that it's 500 years in our future and, what's been going on, as far as after the war and what they're doing with cybertronics and all that kind of stuff. So this is one of those kind of movies done right on a big scale. And I think that Robert Rodriguez was the perfect director to give you that because it's fast-paced.
Sure.
There's not a dull moment. I enjoyed myself immensely. I think it's Cameron is the guy you need as far as vision, man.
Yeah. Maybe he'd be a little bit better off on some of his stuff with saying
it's his screenplay.
Right, like he's in a real creative producer role and then hands it off to someone he really trusts to direct. Someone like you said, how Rodriguez comes in and he manages to maybe bring something in that maybe Cameron would have been a little bit more slower moving movie or
Well, that can go either way. He can
That's
be
true.
fast paced or he can be
yeah, that's true. He can take his time too.
But
I thought it was still a very Cameron movie. It felt like a very James Cameron movie to me.
I did too. Yeah, I mean, it feels like his stink is all over it. You know what I mean?
I mean, the colorization, the way everything looks, it just felt like Avatar.
Right.
It felt not like it looked that way, but I mean, the colorization, the palette,
You could feel
the
that it's from the same
sensibility,
guy kind of
the
thing.
sensibility, all
Okay.
that.
And I mean, I feel like in terms of his concepts.
Yeah.
Like if you watch Aliens and
Yeah.
even Avatar, all the technology
Yeah.
is aged and battered.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because that's thinking. Nothing is glossed.
Right. Everything looks a little used. It's been a little bit kicked around. That's one of his kind of things. That's part of his pastiche.
So this is one of those, big genre films done right, I think. And I think people should go see it. It looks amazing on the big screen, man. This is why they made movie theaters.
Goddamn. Stash. If you could get your hands on Alita, you'd stash her in your house, is what you're saying?
I'd ask her out.
Well, she's actually very cute.
You'd ask her out?
She's adorbs.
I haven't seen the movie. Would she shoot you down?
No, because she's actually a very nice person. Yeah.
She's very trusting. She's like Johnny Five.
Yeah.
She could just kill you with one finger.
And that's true, too. You'd know your place. If you were smart, if you knew what was good for you, you'd watch your P's and Q's on a date with Alita.
And listen, I do know if somebody built a 50 cement brick thick building, Christoph Waltz will fucking act his way right through that motherfucker.
Okay.
Because he is just fucking amazing.
All right. I wasn't sure where you were going with the brick wall.
Well,
thing
that's
for a
why you
second.
wait for me to fucking say it.
That's why I didn't step on you. I was like, this could be dirty.
He's a great actor.
Yes.
Thank you, Quentin.
Thank you, Quentin, for plucking him out of German obscurity.
Do you think Quentin told Robert Rodriguez, you know what you need to get?
I think they just all come to him. It's the same thing we're talking about with fucking. It's just you're in a great movie and all of a sudden, they're like, here's another great movie. You want to be in it? Here's the thing you don't even have to try out for now. Remember all those auditions you used to do and you used to fucking cry yourself to sleep at night?
I think Quentin ran over Robert's house. Mm-hmm. Know what you need to do?
Yeah. I know you didn't ask, but I have ideas. That's pretty much it. And Robert Rodriguez, they love each other. They're like, come on in. I'm listening. So
either that, or maybe Robert Rodriguez wanted to work with him because he's seen him in these movies.
Yeah, I think that's
I think you want him.
Yeah, I think he's like it's Dreamcasting 101. If you have a fatherly figure, that's kind of like.
Oh yeah, the last thing I mentioned is Mahershala Ali's in that too.
That's right. He's in Alita.
He's in Alita, and so is Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
And most importantly, let's forget all those people.
Okay.
Jeff Fahey's in this.
Oh well, good God.
All right.
Well, who's the other guy that I never would have known his name? Not Fahey, but it's a guy you loved, and I'm like, oh, that guy.
I love Fahey.
No, I know, but Hader.
Rutger Hauer?
No. He's like a TV kind of actor, but he's kind of like he's usually a bad guy or an asshole.
David Hayter?
No. Anyway, we were just talking about him on something. I'll have to fucking try and look it up on the side. All right.
Rutger Hauer. Awesome.
No, not that level.
Oh, it's
Yeah, below Fahey, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, come on, man.
I can't think of who it is.
Fahey's going to listen to this.
No, I'm just saying Fahey's good. I'm saying no, but like the actor I'm trying to name because I wanted to be like he popped up in Battlestar for like a 3-episode run where he played like the second to like the jerk off bad guy kind of like problem dude, right? And so it was like, well,
now I know who he is. Now.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up. I can't do it while we do the show though.
Full house in there.
Full house.
As Bauer Fett and Sammy joined us.
Whatever happened to late night TV? All right, kids. Let's do this dang thing that we do. We call the chat room game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Better be good.
I just read one. I'm laughing.
All right, so the setup on this one.
I should get the bell ready.
Warm it up.
All right.
So the setup on this one is make it worse. Take anything and just make it somehow worse. Step it up. A lot of wordplay. So first one's wicked philosophy. This is wicked theory. Transgenders, men and women in disguise. Wreck-It Ralph breaks Penelope.
There you go. That would be worse.
Yeah, that would make it worse. The Secret Life of Pets, fixed. That's the name of the sequel there.
Make it worse for the pets, better for the owners.
Bar Trek into Blackout.
There you go. Jake could try out for that show.
Geely 2 with Louis Anderson. Just Geely 2 probably would have been enough.
Yeah, I think so.
Buttman and Robbins, now with 3D nipples.
Okay.
Twilight, but with more sparkle. Well, that's not good.
No.
The Rubbing Man. It's a play on a Running Man.
Yeah. What is this, like the Japanese subway train?
Ooh, that's what it's actually about when you see it, right? And just, it sounds like a documentary. Okay, alternate destination. So the final destination.
Yeah, that would make it worse.
Yeah, you keep going. Jay interrupted.
There you go.
Like girl interrupted.
Like I did.
That's what that's about. That's girl interrupted. But driving Miss Crazy.
Well, that's most relationships.
So the next one here is his name was Uncle Jay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Uncle Jay and Brother Bob Strikes Back.
There it is.
Uncle Jay and Silent Bob Strike Each Other. The Orville Redenbacher. Mary Poppins Returns to Umbrella Academy.
There you go.
Hitman Agent Palmer. Spider-Man Step Into My Parlor.
Don't get that one.
I'm not sure about that one, but it sounds creepy. Creepy uncle related, maybe. Kingsman Golden Shower. Definitely gets nasty.
Yeah.
Happy Max. Mad Max probably, right? Right.
Oh,
So
right,
now,
yeah.
so now it would make it
Happy
worse.
Max.
If he was happy,
He's
it
got a
wouldn't be
tank of
as good.
gas. He's happy.
Yeah, right. I got gas, guys. Look at it. Alita Naughty Angel.
Would that make it worse, though?
Well, it depends on who's, is this Vivid Pictures, Uber driver now with more meth. That's definitely making that situation worse. Deadly Class Clown. Yeah, that would make it worse.
Yeah.
Charlotte's Vagina instead of Virginia. That did make Charlotte's a little worse, I guess. Or maybe there's a wafting smell.
Or a web.
It's sticky in here. Avengers board game instead of Endgame.
Endgame?
Yeah, Avengers board game. That would be a little weak. Three Musketeers, All Force One and One Force for All. Yeah. I Am Mortal Electric Engines.
Oh, Mortal Engines?
Yeah, Mortal Engines. I Am Mortal. I don't know. I Am... What? I don't know. We'll keep going. The TikTok.
Instead of the Tick?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And TikTok is a kids app. Well, not kids, but it's an app. The Three Fucketeers.
Who's coming up with all these porn-related ones?
I know. Ghost in the Shell Station. It's pretty good. Bird Box 2. Just the fact that there's a 2. I
Hey,
guess.
that's my next gig.
That's your next gig?
Yeah.
Justice League, More Justice. Yeah,
That sounds like a DC TV Report episode.
it does. The Mega Blocks movie. Instead of a Lego movie, they're doing
Okay,
from
the Mega
Mega
Blocks.
Blocks. Oh, terrible.
That's Roger Corman's version.
That is. That does. Right.
It's like the GoBots movie.
And then we got Down Periscope, Hunt for Red October.
Fusion. Fusion two properties together.
I think.
One was a mediocre comedy, and one was a good drama.
Yeah. All right. So that's gonna wrap it up. That was it. I think
The Orville Red.
the Orville Red Vodka was pretty good. Mega Blocks is pretty smart, and then there was one other one I really got.
Jay interrupted. I like.
Yeah. That was actually pretty good.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the Orville Redenbacher because I know I mentioned this last week. I probably should have mentioned it in the meanwhile.
Yeah.
But the Orville had a 2-part episode.
Oh my gosh.
And this was, no,
I'm teasing. Go ahead.
You remember talking to me beginning of the season? I wasn't too keen on the way things were going.
Right.
The first couple episodes, but then I came to you and I said, I think it might have been like what was left over from the original ideas.
Right.
And now we're
Right.
getting the better stuff. Well, it's culminated in this 2-part episode that
Okay.
really stepped up the game for the Orville.
There you go.
Big time. There's a big change in who you think the main baddie is.
Oh, that's good.
There's like a big
Twisty switcheroo.
right. There's
A twitcheroo.
there's several, but they're not just episodic twists.
I got you. This
know what I
kind of thing that they're kind of
Right. The way you thought things were going with certain cast and
Right.
the way the general direction was going,
Sure.
just totally got flipped up because of the events of this 2-part episode.
Nice.
And they did some things like not shy away when someone dies and gets sucked into space.
Well, you got some love here in the chat room from it. James is like, "Oh, the 2-parter was awesome."
It was great. It was actually better than I think. The parallel for me was the Star Trek: The Next Generation 2-parter with Locutus,
Okay.
with the Borg.
Okay.
Okay, that might be giving too much away, maybe not, but it's a really well done take on that kind of
So from the chat room, James says, yeah, it was like a series finale level show in the middle of the season.
Yeah, there was like a full like 5 to 7 minute like space battle with like 50 different spaceships, multiple species of aliens involved. I mean, this was
He says it just reshaped the whole Orville universe.
It did.
Nice, nice.
It really did. Whoever you thought like was good guys and bad guys, like totally changed, and not just in a normal plot twisty kind of way. This was something that was like,
oh, this feels like it's lasting
because it involved people on the Orville. It felt more personal.
Right. Cool.
You know what I mean? So
all right.
It was
Interesting.
It really, yeah. It's definitely.
I'll have to catch up.
Yeah, you should catch up.
That sounds like something, because like the fact that they're doing something like that at all is like, oh, okay, cool.
And they're doing again in these 2 episodes the kind of things that they were doing in the first season, that kind of like,
hinted at greatness.
No, not hinted at greatness, but like poked at the holes in some of the logic, the normal sci-fi logic.
Okay, right.
Like. Last season it was like they were trying to get into a box and they couldn't figure out how to get into this box, so they went and they got someone's like, "Wait, I got this ancient tool my uncle left me," and it was a power drill.
Right. I remember you telling me this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was, you know what I mean? It's kind of on par with that.
I got you. Okay. Nice.
So definitely check that out. And if you didn't take Bill's recommendation about Umbrella Academy seriously,
right,
definitely check that out.
So Bauer Fed's recommending, and we will too, catch up with Gorville Lights podcast. That's what they're calling it these days, because now they're literally splitting the episodes down. At least I think they're trying it out, where it's half Gotham Lights, half Orville Lights. Reviews.
Well, it kind of makes sense because this is going to be the last season for Gotham, right?
Yeah, they're trying to transition. I think is definitely a thing, and you know.
Yeah, this is a good show to take on as a replacement for it. It's a different type of show, but it's a similar kind of audience.
The Uncle Jay lights.
Fucking out of nowhere.
We take a microphone, plug it into your laptop.
Yep.
There you go.
And there you go.
I'll listen to that show.
And Sammy, he's done talking about it now.
Why? What was going on?
She said, can someone tell me when Bob stopped talking? Because I haven't seen it yet.
All right.
Oh, no, that was somebody else.
No, Sammy.
Well.
It was John.
Sammy, stop listening to the show because we're recording the show and go watch.
I'm not. Come on. Yeah, can someone tell me once Pop stops talking? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, wow.
Sammy.
Okay, scroll down a little further.
Yeah.
Tell me my fucking business.
All
Because I saw John was also, I haven't seen the second part yet, so no spoilers, please.
Right.
But we dodged. I feel like you did good.
Well, yeah.
No further. You know?
Yeah, no further than that. It's definitely
worth it.
Definitely worth it. It's something that really ups their cred.
There you go.
Thank me, Sammy, because Bill didn't see it.
There you go. Well, you know, you're officially on.
I know.
Chat Patrol.
I know.
I was trying to think of I was trying to think of something real regime hard, like, you know.
Yeah,
Tell me my business again.
Instead of turning to your right there and facing the wall with the pipe, chilling, relaxing.
I am doing that too.
But he's got a lead pipe in the other hand. And any of you kids who get out of line, he's gonna fucking straighten you right out in the chat room. That's what I want him to be. I want him to be like
I'm trying to be good.
I don't know, is it Reinstalt? What's a good, you know, Sammy, give me a good German name for like
Schlitzendruben?
Yeah. Jortenflocken. Like, you know, some German word for like
Scheiße.
authority. Like, you know, what's the German word for authority? You know? Something like that.
Guten Tag.
No.
No,
I don't think it's Guten Tag. I'm pretty sure it's not Guten Tag.
You should watch Overlord, man. That was good.
No.
Oh,
I will.
Lords of Chaos. Did I talk about Lords of Chaos?
No, you did not. Save it for next week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because you'll give that a fair shot then if you actually save it for next week. Because now, now I would rush you through it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
All right.
It's
So
only 8 o'clock.
actually, and it gives kids at home homework. If you want to know what Lords of Chaos is, it's a movie. Try and find it, watch it. Bob will talk
only
about it
8
next.
o'clock, bro.
It's only 8 o'clock. I know,
Got
but
a half hour.
we got a half an hour. But like we just talked about that stuff for like 45 minutes. So we're moving the show along. It's what we do at the hour
Let me ask the
mark.
chat room.
What?
If they want to hear me talk about Lords of Chaos, they want to go on to their emails.
Do people want to hear Bob talk about a movie for another 5 minutes?
5 minutes before we go to the emails.
Or before we go to emails, or should I go to emails right now? We'll put it to a vote
let's
in the
put
chat
Bob to work.
room. I think we have enough people. And now we will just kind of wait.
I don't understand why you can't talk about it for 5 minutes. We got a lot of half an hour.
Thank you, Jay.
Honestly, I mean, we got some time to spare.
No, it's true. We do have the room, but I don't know what's in the email box. So that could be a half hour's
Why don't you
content.
take a quick look?
Yeah,
You could look. No, I'm not going to look because the point was not about why I wanted to move on. It was just Bob got caught up in it, like, oh shit, this movie I liked, I want to talk about it.
There's two
and
more.
I was like, let's move it along. Now let's save it for next week.
There's 2 emails.
You're right. There's probably at most 2 emails. Fair.
Right, so
That's fair.
That's what
And
I'm
there's a good chance that one was from Nigeria.
Wow, that's also a good chance. Then there might be 3 then.
Or a dick enlargement fucking email.
Yeah, I don't get those on this account.
Palmer gets those.
Thank God I don't get much junk mail on this account
That's
yet.
on your MSN that you won't get rid of.
So
Your Hotmail.
let's see what we got here.
Hotmail. Is that even still a thing?
All right. Well, Palmer's breaking the difference. He's like, a game maybe? That's something else we could do. But James goes, Lords of Chaos, bring it. But then also says, I'm so sick, I don't even remember if I sent an email. Wesley says, I did send an email, so... And then John says, let the man speak.
That's 2.
So that's 2 for you.
Right. And Wesley, I don't know. No
Wesley
offense,
and Palmer
but
kinda
he gets an
split
email
it.
every week.
It's not like we won't get to email.
Well, Palmer's saying do something else. He's not. That's not part of the question.
Well,
The
that's what I'm
question
saying. I'm saying, like,
So right now it's still 2-1.
I feel like the 2 of them don't count almost.
Right.
Like Wesley's got an email. He's
gonna
got
be
something.
email every
He's got skin in the game here, though. Like
Yeah.
that's his angle. He's like, no,
Yeah, but also because he's got one every week. How much the value does his vote really have?
But also too,
Sorry, Wesley.
but also in all fairness to saying maybe his vote doesn't count, is because we're going to get to the email no matter what.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
This whole conversation was 4 fucking minutes. Holy shit.
Right.
Unbelievable, man.
I could have just talked about it.
He
and
could have
been
just
over.
talked about it, would have been over.
Oh,
On
man,
the
you're
emails.
right. You're right. Let's see where we are now, though.
Unbelievable.
I think Bill wants to drag it out now so he can say, you know what, guys, now we have no time. So
Oh man, that would be even better. Oh man, shit.
another 5 minutes go by. You know what, guys, we only got 20 minutes now. We
All
wanna
right, you know what? That was pretty smart. For that, I'll let you talk about it. Nah, they this crew couldn't make up their mind in the chat room. They couldn't give us a good decisive answer.
All right,
but it
so-
seems to lean towards your favor.
All right. So, Lords of Chaos,
Lord's
right?
Chaos. Tell me all about
Has
it.
a Culkin in it.
Oh, that's a plus.
Yeah, Rory Culkin.
Rory.
All right, who actually does a really good job portraying the main guy in the story here, this is the story of Norwegian death metal band Mayhem,
Okay.
and actually their main guy, who actually created Norwegian black metal.
Well, this is a true story, right?
Yeah, but what you got to realize is that he created Norwegian black metal is kind of like me saying I create Staten Island purple death metal.
I
You
got
know what I-
you.
you know
Yes,
what I mean?
yes.
If
It's
I
a
can get-
very
if I-
narrow
You know what I
vein.
mean? There was a bunch of people that he got to believe and follow along these tenets that were the rules of Norwegian death metal,
Okay.
black metal, which was basically you didn't play out,
Okay.
you just put out CD albums back in the day,
Okay.
and people liked it or didn't, and you made whatever you made on it, and it wasn't about getting famous; it was about the music.
Okay. It was very much of that
Right,
kind
but
of.
it was
It's all about
it
the
was
craft.
about being part of the underground because the music underground was a lot different
Right,
back
right,
then. So
right.
you could actually survive in that.
Right.
But a lot of it was like he was spewing his own bullshit, and taking credit for a lot of things, and you see that in the movie. The movie is actually really well. It's a story.
Okay.
And it plays out right from the beginning, like you know that this is someone's telling a story. It's narrated and all that, and it's the retelling, his retelling of events.
Okay.
That include burning down, people getting so involved in this that they actually burn down churches.
Okay.
And and one guy commits a murder.
Things
you
start
know.
to spiral out of control
Yeah.
here and there.
It's graphic right from the beginning because part of like the lore that he builds around all this and his band Mayhem is his lead singer is suicidal.
Okay.
And you see him trying and get that done in a very graphic ways.
Okay.
So, go in. You can't be squeamish going into this.
All right.
You know, especially in the first 20 minutes, and then again a little bit at the end.
So it's a drama for the most part, straightforward. Is not like
yeah, it's a straightforward story.
Okay.
It's a good story. It's told well. I didn't really lose interest at all.
Sure.
I'm not a black metal guy or anything.
Right,
like that,
right,
you know what I
right,
mean? But you get to see some interesting takes on like the human condition too, because
Right.
there's a couple of real freaking idiots who followed and went and did shit. You know? what I mean?
Right. Yeah, where it takes on a quasi culty kind of thing.
Yeah, and it ends up being a competition between him and the guy who ends up being the new singer and the new bass player in the band.
Oh shit. I got you.
And there's like kind of a competition for control. And
Sure, it's clash. Yeah.
And things have to keep escalating, and
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
what it tends to happen.
And they escalate in a pretty twisted fucking way. Let's put it that way.
That's our Jesse Custer quote.
Yeah,
That's
but
what these things do. They escalate.
But it's well written. It's well done.
Mm-hmm.
It's well acted. Rory Culkin puts in a good performance. Go check it out. It's definitely a cash.
Sure.
You know, if not a stash. If you're a metalhead, it might end up being a stash because there's not a lot of good metal-based movies out there.
No, and it was getting a lot of talk.
Mm-hmm.
When you mentioned it, I was like, oh, I was surprised. Well, not that you had seen it, but just kind of had forgotten about it. I knew it was kind of flying under the general radar for people, but I had seen, here and there, people were like, oh, wow, check it out. It's like, it's not exactly what you think it is.
Yeah, I didn't realize it had come out, and when I found out about it, I checked it out, and it's a good movie.
Satan.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Satan boy.
So
emails.
So now you can go on to emails.
Okay, all right.
And now that took like 4 minutes.
And you know what? You would think while I was listening, but I was
Bill
paying
made it 8
attention.
minutes.
I did. You would have thought I would have opened it up.
Oh, brat.
But,
And at least deleted that Norwegian email.
yeah, definitely took it out.
I'm sorry, the Nigerian one, not Norwegian.
What's going on here? And this. Okay. It was scrolled down, and I was like, so all that, and nobody sent an email because all I saw was junk mail and stuff from like Mixler alerts. All right.
That would have been hysterical.
That was gonna be hysterical. I'm like, whoa. All right, so
I'd have been on the floor.
it would have been the topper of this whole episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially after Wesley saying, "I said one."
Well, Wesley says he sent one, right?
Yeah.
I don't see it. I see the one from last week, I think. Yeah, from the 23rd. I don't see a newer one, Wes. So we got one here from Ben, though, from Benny Live. Benny Live Wires.
Benjamin.
He says, "Hi, Wicked Theory."
Hi, Ben.
I don't know if that's his voice.
do that to him.
Oh, he says he. Okay, the clarification is Wesley didn't send one. Okay, it's been a while since I last wrote. Lately, pop culture, fandom news, and excited has been lacking. Oh, and excitement, I guess, has been lacking in my opinion. I'm hoping with the start of the big movie season it picks up a little bit. Anyway, this weekend I saw Escape Room, and it was a great movie. I would describe the film like Cube and Saw put together. The characters' backstories were good, and the overall plot of the film was solid. I'm sure the film is classed as a thriller and not a horror. I hope for a sequel in which the ending of the film teases. I don't know the box office numbers, so I don't know if it's a hit or a flop at the moment. So to finish, I've not done an escape room experience before, and I'm not sure if my town even has one. Have you guys been in one before? And who would be the sole survivor out of you three? I haven't done one.
I haven't done one either. There is one on Staten Island now.
Yeah, we've got one out here.
I think these things are a little pricey for what you do.
Yeah, it's like an experience type of thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like everybody's got to pay like $40-$50 a person to go into the room together, and then you destroy everything in the room. I get the fact that you destroy everything, so they got to be able to replace it.
it's not about destroying stuff.
No, but you end up destroying it while you're looking for like.
Well, you make a
clues
mess
or
of the
keys.
room, maybe, but it's not like, break vase. You have to break vases open to find clues.
No, but that's what some people do.
Well,
You know what I mean?
think, yeah.
You're trying to find the keys and everything. You got a time limit, and there's clues.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just I've watched a few videos and I've actually looked into it a little bit, and yeah, Yeah, it's usually pretty fairly laid out though. Like, you know, like I think a lot of places will tell you now, like to a certain degree, like whether or not like how hard you have to play, because every room's a little different. Every place is like, you know, a little different.
Yeah.
So
people planning it out.
You know, so but yeah, I mean, I'd give one a shot. I think it would be funny. It'd be, you know, who would be the sole survivor out of the three of us? Is that how they work? Do we have to kill each other to get out? Because they're like, oh, I found the key, but it's inside Bob. It's like Saw. Like
it was in my lunch.
Right.
You got to get it out of my stomach.
Yeah, you know, I got to sift through all that.
You could just wait until it passes.
Oh, we might have to pay more to wait. They're gonna be like, guys, this is not supposed to take 3 hours. Yeah, I've never done one. I would do one, you know, but I don't know. Like, I think the thing in the end is like, it's maybe not sole survivor, but it's like
who would solve it?
Who would solve the big clue that's giving everybody a problem or whatever, or you know, that kind of thing. But I don't think you can call that, because I've watched some of these things and it's like, it's just the person who happens to put it together in their head, like, you know, like,
right.
Or happens to find the item on the wall and it's like, oh, look, there's numbers on this. Oh, maybe the numbers correspond to something. You know what I mean?
Everyone's going over the same clues in their heads.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wait, what about that?
I watched a video on like how to, like the best ways to kind of like approach them a little bit from guys who've kind of done a bunch. And they kind of talk about how like, like when you find the stuff, like at the very least, like put it all in one place, like, and don't let everybody keep like stumbling over and being like, oh, what about this? This is a thing. And it's like, yeah, didn't somebody else call that out? Because people are so in their own headspace,
right,
that they kind of are drowning, not really fully listening. Like, you know what I mean? And a bunch of other tactics like that. So if anybody's into escape rooms, you can look up escape room tricks.
Right. So the biggest thing really isn't the solving. It's the explaining to everybody that we already did that. We already figured that out. We're moving on to the next thing.
Yeah, I think it's in a sense, it's probably more like the most important thing is probably like focus. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just a general sense of like.
Yeah, I'm just picturing the way you explained it, like somebody going, like two people going, oh, okay, that works. That leads to this thing,
right?
And then moving on. And then somebody else coming along and seeing that thing, that cued them off, and then them thinking, oh, wait, what about this? And they go, no, we already did that, and it didn't work out, so we're on to the next thing. Yeah. Now they got to explain that, and this person might be being a bit hard-headed.
Yeah, that's definitely in there, too. I mean, you know, but check it out, people, if you're into it, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know Staten Island had one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
down the street from here.
Is it the guys who do the paintball?
Is it? No. It's over by the library. Down the street.
Okay.
Maybe it can be like a escape room with paintball.
Now that's a reason to get out.
Yeah.
That'll set your motivation going. You know, where you don't have the gun, but someone's pegging you from a couple of holes in the wall.
Believe me, they fucking hurt.
Oh, I know.
Because I used to do a little skirmish.
Yeah. I mean, I never played, but I got shot with one. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Just
because some old jerk-off's always fucking around, or someone brings one out, you know, when you're kids.
You look like, you see the black and blue on my
Yeah.
like that.
Like a welt. They're like
all over yourself.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. To answer Benny Levire's question, escape room was a minor hit. The production budget was $9 million. It made 56 here.
Yeah, that's good.
And it did another 62 overseas.
That made
so
money.
that's a
good
hit.
return. That's a good return on your money.
That's
what you want, man.
It's like 1,000%, brother.
Yeah. You know,
profit.
That's a lot of math. I can't even do that kind of math.
No math.
All right. So
and Deborah Ann Wall is in it. She played Karen Page and Punisher.
Oh yeah.
And Daredevil.
Oh yeah. She's got a Dungeons and Dragons related kind of show she does.
And True Blood, I think, right? She was from.
Yeah, she was from True Blood. People can learn more about that Dungeons and Dragons on TV on a blog post Agent Palmer did recently on his website, agentpalmer.com.
So, Bill,
how do you feel about that? Dropping that little plug in for you.
Dungeons and Dragons.
It's good stuff. So we got another email here. This one's from a friend of ours. I'm just going to read right into it.
Fuck you, James.
Are you reading it over my shoulder?
Because I know it's the first fucking line.
It is. It says, fuck you, Jay.
That's number one.
And the only thing that's in it says, I've been sick all week. That's it. That's his whole
Fucking pussy.
That's his whole email.
Fuck you and your
I'm
fucking
cutting him some
sickness.
slack. He's had a rough time lately.
Yeah. And then finally, suddenly, there is an email from Wesley. So a little bit of this, real quick. It says, Bill, can you read? I said I didn't send an email.
There you go.
That's the
That's it.
email.
Dude, you gonna take that?
Well, I think I will. I think I will.
I think he has no choice. We don't know where the man lives.
I know the state. And actually, I do have an address for him. We could go,
All right.
via the Patreon. Sadly, he mistakenly
Oh,
shared his
that's right.
address with that.
You
I don't know if he still lives at that address, but that's a starting point.
Well, you want to go key his nice orange truck?
That's what a key his face. No, I would
Your
never.
ass fucking crazy.
You crazy, boy. What are you doing? And so that's the emails.
And so that's
Wow.
the show, and we have 10 minutes before 90
really.
minutes.
So it's a
Thanks,
good thing.
Bill.
So it's actually a good thing we had an argument about that.
Good
See?
thing we rushed through all that shit.
See? All that padding that didn't seem like padding until we pointed out that it was kind of like padding. Just for that, you're out of here.
Jim Beam apple.
Jay's going to celebrate with a beverage of some Jim Beam.
There'll be some clanking of glass and ice.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't tap something a little earlier.
Just put a straw in that, Jay.
I mean,
Crazy.
crazy straws. Yeah, so I guess we can definitely end the show. We can...
Oh, I have
That's
something
up to
I
you.
wanna review.
You-
Can
you-
we
you're the host.
Talk about it.
Jay with a last minute review.
Yeah.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I watched The Empire Strikes
forget.
Back.
I watched. I saw Tron last week. That's. Oh, okay.
Well, I watched the whole season of Oak Island. Want to talk about
I mean, we
that?
want to talk about Oak Island. Get us started on that. We'll never stop.
Well, we spent another minute on this. Just letting you know.
Yeah. I know.
Find out what's
There's a little padding at the end. It's always good.
Salute.
Yeah,
it doesn't
but this
hurt anybody.
padding is padding, unlike the other padding, which wasn't padding.
Well,
until
this is
it became
official.
padding.
Right. This is officially like. Yeah.
I was going to go on for like another minute. With
You
that
could have,
padding.
You're going to live this one down. Next week,
Nah.
we're going to...
Every week it's going to be, I guess we're done. Okay. I guess so. All right. So, if you're listening, stick around. We'll be back in a minute. If you're listening live, we'll come back with some after
what's
show.
that gonna be?
I have
What
no
are we
idea.
doing?
I have no idea. But that's the fun of the after show.
I just remembered I had an idea for like in between music, but it's too late.
Okay. All right. But make a note of it in the doc somewhere, and then I'll try and use it next week. Put it down below the notes area. Just write it anywhere. So here we are. We're at the end. Let's just do it. Let's just commit to it. Stick around. If you're listening live, linger longer. Linger longer. Apologize. Waddle doodle. That's it's more Grease Man for you. But that's it. We're going to wrap it up for real this time. You can find Uncle Jay on Twitter at Uncle Jay's Thing. He's laughing now. Help him out. Bob's typing. You can find Bob at
Bob WTPC.
I almost fucked it up. Thank God for you jumping in. And you can find me at Wicked Theory, or you can find the show at Wicked Theory. You can find You can find the show at wickedtheory.com, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, wherever you're listening to it right now, obviously. And then, like we said, check out the DCTV report. That's our buddies over there, Ed and Sarah, giving you all the DCTV reports and breakdowns, news, scoops, and poops. Maybe not too many poops. But, and then we're going to come back in a minute. I have no idea what song I'm going to play.
Of course.
Or music.
I actually
You pulled it up?
I pulled it up.
All right. All right, folks. I have no idea what it is, but it's taking us out of here. Thanks for listening.
It's Tula Mon played on two harps.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This has been the Wicked Theory Podcast, and for that, we apologize.
The Wicked Theory Podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.